this is Maria from Mari's Way of Life. Welcome back to my channel. I am a mommy, I am a planner babe, and I am a first grade teacher. Today I am going to plan for the upcoming week of September 3rd to actually, this is a short week, so 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th to the 6th. If you're interested in watching this, let's plan together. This one right here is actually last week's, and I got, sorry for that, I got all of this done, which was amazing, with the exception of the module 1 details. So I kind of crossed that out because we had an assembly that I did not input in here. So let's move on to September, and this is exciting. And I will be doing a monthly tomorrow in my classroom because I need my notes from there and my schedule. So I will be doing that. But for now, it is Monday, it is super late, and I do not want to go into my classroom without having this, especially knowing that I love doing this regardless. So let's work on this week. So it will be the 3rd to the 6th. And let's see what we come up with this week. All right, I am going to start to put my headers. And then after I do that, I want to bring out the printable stickers that I typically use for 100 mile. And then we don't have testing this week, thankfully. Tomorrow is an early out, so my time is limited. I know for a fact that we're not starting MTSS just yet. So for now, I am going to plan this week without the MTSS part, which is this timing frame right here from 9:15 to 9:45. And then I'll actually put my printables for 100 mile. Phonics gonna happen right after 100 mile. Whereas before I had Lexia. And then also I'm going to put in some labels, or maybe I think I'll do my, let's see, let me bring this in. I think not this one. I'll use my stencil, and these are journaling stencils, to denote lessons for Go Math and Wonders, which is our language arts and mathematics curriculum. So I'm going to go ahead and work all that out, and then I'll be right back. Okay, let's talk a little bit about what's going on. The first thing I think I'm going to do is I'm going to use a washi. And with this washi, actually my daughter bought me this washi at the 99-cent store. And this is the first time I'm going to use it. So let's just hope that it works. I'm already struggling. Okay. Let's see how it's just going without me even pulling on it. So hopefully it works. So I thought, yeah, no, it's too much. Okay, I cannot use this one, but I will use, let's take a look at this. Sorry, I thought I would be able to use that one, but it's way too bright for me. Maybe I'll do polka dots. Here. Yeah, I think that'll work. And then I'm going to grab my ruler if I can. Sorry guys. Teacher mess right now. Okay, so the reason why I'm doing this is because today is Labor Day, and while I'm doing this, I have to tell you that I was getting really close to just going to bed and ignoring my lesson plans, but I always have so much fun that I couldn't, and I know how much they help me during the week. So anyway, I had to get them done. So I'm just going to run this one. I think I was going to go all the way, but oops. Okay. Now, if you're wondering why I did the work on Monday, of doing the stencil and then the stickers, it's because I actually didn't start using my erasable pens, and I went ahead and used my Joy pens. And then as I think I was doing Go Math first, and then as soon as I got to the, I think it was the third one, I realized I had done Mondays. So because I started that, I'm like, great, now I'm going to do it all the way through, because that's just who I am, and it's totally fine. So as long as it makes me happy, I think that looks good. So today is Labor Day. We went ahead and put washi just to make sure we disregard that. And then tomorrow will be Tuesday, and we have a staff meeting. So I kind of put reminders of like whether kids have birthdays or not, so that I remember that there's something going on besides, you know, a regular school day. What I'm going to do right here is I'm going to, next time I'll remember not to put in like a little box checklist here, because it is computer lab, and then I can just check mark that. And then I will do the same thing for library time, and I will just do that for now. Is it bothering me? Yes, it is. That's why I use my erasable pens, but for now it'll have to work. So we're going to leave it like that. Let's go ahead and go into Monday, and we'll do the morning part of Monday. And for Monday, we have, let's go ahead and use erasable pens before I make another mistake. Let me go ahead and put the times in. So for morning business, it runs from 9 to 9:15. And then Falcon time, which is our RTI or MTSS time, it is 9:15 to 9:45. And then for P and Lexia, we do 100 mile, and that runs from 9:45. And then we're counting transition times here, just in case you were wondering, to 10:25. And then we go to recess, and then we have a next chunk of time, which is 10:40 to 11:25. 11:25. This is our morning part. So let's go ahead and work on this part. And if you see my videos below, I like to color code this whole area, one color and then moving on to the next. So today it doesn't really matter which color it is, as long as it is color coded. So I'll just start, I'll just do 1, 2, 3, 4 like that. Or should I do, I guess I'll do the black one instead of this one. Yeah, I'll do black. So like that, because it's 4 days. So I will begin with blue, and Tuesday, tomorrow, this runs the same. So what I'll do is I'm gonna speed you through this process right here, and then I'll probably stop it a little bit here so I can show you what I'm doing at this time, since we should really be doing RTI. And I'm actually ready, but a lot of people, like myself, were struggling with technology last week. Before I do that, I noticed that I need my highlighter, and I think I'll use, I should have a fourth one in here. Yeah, they're too light. Let me see these over here. I'll use purple. Okay. And then I am going to do 14 last week, 15, 16, oh sorry, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18 days in at the end of this week. So that will mean 18, oopsies, 18 days by the end of this week. You see that? I got ink all over me. Okay, and that's from using the stencils. Okay, so let me speed you through. Let me go ahead and do the morning business, which is the same for every single day, and then I'll stop it to show you Falcon time and P Lexia. All right, let's go ahead and do that. Okay, here we go. I figured because we have not started this, that I can actually, and we're not testing, so that I can actually focus more in detail on finished now what. And that is, well, last year used to be a bulletin board, but now I have it in the community supply area right next to it, where there's a rainbow drawer system, and each drawer, I believe there are 8, there might be more, I don't know, but each drawer has an item for them to complete if they are done with their work. And that way they don't have to come up to you and say, I'm finished or I'm done, what do I do? They kind of just know that that's their go-to place. So what I figure I would do is I will go over like the most important ones, or the ones that are mostly difficult for them. And now that we're getting deep into our work in the classroom, I want to make sure they know what to do when they are finished with an assignment, so that I may continue working with a specific group and they are able to work independently, or maybe I'm working on one-on-one, whatever the case may be. That way they don't run and say, I'm finished. So during this time, I will go ahead and do I am finished not what. So if you noticed last week and you saw my lesson plan last week, I left a lot of blank spaces. And then let me go ahead and grab the copy I'm going to give my principal. Give me one sec. So this one, I just put wonders and then the week and lesson. And then I actually went and inputted this while I was in the classroom, because it just helped me kind of debrief what I was doing on that specific day. So that's the same thing I'll do here, if I'm making sense at all, is I'll go ahead and put the topic with it, which is I'm finished now what, and then I'll fill in what they're doing on that day for this specific lesson. And what I'll do for this one is probably one of these, like so. All right, now that that is done, what I'll do after 100 Mile, the phonics lesson. So for this week, we are working with spelling words that have the A, it's the short vowel, and I want to do those lessons. And what I do is typically I blend out those spelling words with them. We go over the sounds. And on Mondays, we take a spelling test as well. So it's a practice spelling test. And then we'll be doing the same throughout the week. Not the pre-test, but the phonics. And then I go ahead and do the phonics lesson and spelling lesson for that week from the curriculum. I do not reinvent the wheel. I just do it straight from the curriculum. And then that way they have that early in the morning. So that's what I'm going to go and write in, and that would be phonics. All right, so again, there is enough space there so that I may continue on with my notes or what I'm specifically working on for that day. So moving on, this is my morning part. Then they go to recess. Then we do phonics. Then they go straight to lunch. And then, so this will take us straight to lunch. And now moving on to the afternoon, and this is when they come back. They actually come back at noon, so this will be 12 to 1, and there is recess in between this time, so then there's another chunk of 1 to 120, which is perfect because from 1 to 120 students that mainstream to my class come in at that time, and that's typically when they join us for the library and the computer lab, and then whatever other lesson we have. I try to do social studies at that time as well. If you see my other videos, I was not going to do social studies this year. I was only going to be the teacher for PLTW, but things switch, and it's totally okay. I'm okay with that. So we're moving on to social studies on this chunk of time. So for Tuesdays and Wednesdays, we don't have that chunk. We only have it for Monday, Thursday, and Friday. So 3 times a week they get that social studies time, and then 4 times a week they get the science. So, and they get it daily because I try to incorporate it with language arts. Social studies was all about following the rules. All of unit 1 was how to follow the rules, how people vote, how you make decisions. That is all incorporated into the language arts standards as well. So now that that's said, for this day right here, and let me go ahead and go back and see that I have my pens in the right order. Okay, moving on to the next time frame, and the next time frame is language arts, and that runs from 1:35 all the way to 2:30. And typically these are just connected, and like I said, social studies is connected to this as well. So language arts is a bigger chunk, but you know, we just separate it into subjects. So once that is done, then we have PLTW from 2:30 to 3:15, and that will be the end of our school day. Now that that's done, let's go ahead and go into Go Math. They actually took their first unit test on Friday, so we're moving on to chapter 2. So we'll be doing a pre-assessment. For Go Math, we will be doing pre-assess just to see where they are in subtraction. We're starting subtraction now, pre-assess, and we never stop doing addition. So just so you know, this is just because we're following the pacing plan and the curriculum and making sure I cover all the standards throughout the year. So I'm pre-assessing that day, and when I do pre-assessment, it doesn't take a long time. It's typically 1 page. If you teach Go Math, you know what I'm talking about. And then I focus a lot on vocabulary. I just think it's the key for them to understand mathematics and the 4 operations that they need to learn in life. So I go over tons of vocabulary. And then we actually model what that vocabulary looks like in an actual problem. So that's what happens on an introductory lesson. Then the following day, whatever that day may be for you, we actually move on to the lesson, whatever the lesson may be. So this will be lesson 2.1. And then I write in whatever the standard is, and so on and so forth. And then moving on to Thursday, we go ahead and do lesson 2.2. That's my daughter in the background. I shouldn't be speaking this loud because she's sleeping right now. She fell asleep in my bedroom. My office is in my bedroom, so yeah. And then for Friday, I have lesson 2.3. 2.3, like so. Yep, that works out. Okay, so that looks really good. And then I will be inputting the standards and all of that. And then also I will go back in here with this color and put social studies. And I haven't looked over the pamphlets that they're doing this week, so I'm not sure what standards we're covering, but it's still happening. And then social studies at this second part of the time. Okay, that's done. Then for the following item, it's language arts, and I truly enjoy doing this. I don't know, I love first grade. It's just the curriculum is so amazing. I really am in love. So Wonders, we're entering our first unit, and it's unit 1, week 1, and it's lesson 1, if that makes sense. So what I usually do is just put U1, W1, and then D2 for day 2. And so again, unit 1, week 1, and day 3. And then I will be doing day 4 here, and day 5 is typically assessments. So I want to make sure I actually do day 4 is more important than all of the assessments. So I will use my writing time for assessments because they typically don't take a long time, and since it's our first assessment, it won't be as I won't be as strict with that assessment, if that makes sense. And by that I mean like I'll be a little bit more flexible. So unit 1, week 1, day 4, and then here I will actually be doing their spelling test and vocabulary test for that week. And then is there something else? No, I think that's it. Okay, for this part over here, and then of course I'll be writing in the specific lessons in here. And so now that that is done, I will actually go ahead and write in red as well, because to me red means Wonders. I don't know why, maybe because the books are red. And so for writing, or in a full week, it would be pre-writing, topic, sentence, 3 details, concluding sentence, and then Friday we work on publishing our work or writing it as a paragraph. And yes, they do it, and yes, it's all guided, and yes, they copy me. We all work on the same paragraph, but I'm helping them, making sure that they are using capitals, that we're using punctuations, that we talk about details and what is a topic sentence. It takes forever, but by January, or at least what I feel it takes forever, by January, it's the first time that I actually give them an assignment independently, and they actually do fairly well. So here I am going to do the pre-writing, and then we are going to talk about topic and details. No, sorry. We're going to talk about topic, sentence. Oh, well, that's ugly. Topic, sentence. We're going to talk about details. And then we're going to, after they assess on all of that, we're going to do, should I do it here? I'm thinking maybe it's way too much. I wonder if I can put this in here. You know what? If not, it'll go into the next week. Or maybe I'll skip Wonders here and do details. And then see if I can sneak in concluding sentence. We'll see what happens. Okay, so that's all Wonder related. The writing deals with that as well, and all of the readings that they're going to do. So that's a lot of fun. I always like doing that. And so now that that's said and done, I am going to actually write in the PLTW time. Now, mind you, this will be color coded as soon as I go into the classroom and kind of jot down what we're doing specifically on these days. But at least I know where I'm looking at. And this is just a skeleton that helps me when I'm in the classroom. And then I just write in what I'm blending or what sounds we cover that day. If we worked on your turn book, or I thought that it wouldn't be relevant, or not relevant, but at least it wouldn't support them that day, that they needed a little bit more review, or whatever the case may be, then I will do that there. I don't like to place it before And I was very specific about that before, and it just turned out to be that we don't really cover everything, and we have to meet the kids' needs. So, you know, it's okay if we go slow, and it's okay if we don't cover everything in there. So it's not that we're trying to be perfect, it's we're trying to be as caring to those kiddos as we can, and know that they have a lot, they have a huge responsibility this year. They need to become fluent readers, and although many of them already are, then my goal is to work with comprehension then. But a lot of them are still pre-readers, and they need to take that huge step, and it's hard for the little ones too, as well as it's hard for us to meet their individual needs. So we have to really think about that, or at least that's what I think. And so now going into POTW, I'm excited because we did cover the All About Engineers last week and the design process. The design process actually took 2 days, so I didn't get started with module 1, but I will definitely get started with module 1 on Wednesday, and I am going to write that in. We're starting module 1. And I actually need some bullets in here because there are different parts to the module. Wow, this is not perfect at all. It's hilarious actually, but I'll get better at it. Well, the second one wasn't as bad. Maybe I'll erase it, guys. Don't laugh. All right. It is super late, but I'm actually excited that I got it done. I'm telling you, I was actually laying in bed, and then I said, oh, well, I'll work on it tomorrow. And it's not the same thing. This is my me time, and I love doing this stuff. So, yeah. Okay, anyway, module 1, and then that will continue on because, oh, actually, we're only going to work on it on Wednesday because Fridays is Friday for us, and I won't skip that. These kids really do deserve every moment of their Fun Fridays. Fun Friday. So I cannot take that away from them. I promised it. So yeah, especially because we had an assembly last Friday, and then they didn't get to do all of the rotations. So actually they didn't even complain about it, and I thought that was cool because I clearly remember last year, the first time we did it, I had a couple of tantrums. Yeah, I don't even want to go there. Yep. All right, I'm going to move on with this year, and this is what I have for this week, and I'm having a blast of a year so far. I am very excited, and like all teachers, I think I'm always tired. I don't, you know, my energy runs low, but I'm very hyped and very excited to go back to work tomorrow, and now knowing that I have the skeleton to work with and that I know what is happening, then that makes me super, super happy and excited to be at work tomorrow. So for now, I'm gonna let you go. I hope you enjoy this plan with me and that I gave you some ideas for you to start doing your lesson plans, even though it might be really hard to get started with them. It's kind of like homework, you know. It's just, but once you get started, it's super fun, especially just the way I do it. I can't say no to them. I mean, look how beautiful they look. I like the colorful, and I love putting stickers on them. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope I sparked interest in you in creating your lesson plans and getting you started with them if you haven't. And even if it's the first one tomorrow, or if you start next week, it is still better to start somewhere than not to start at all. I love you guys. Take care. But more than anything, God bless. Goodbye.